Hey guys, welcome back to the Best Party channel. Today I'm going to share with you how to make these really cool knitted rainbows that you can use to decorate anywhere in your home. I've actually used them to decorate this cushion cover, but you can use them as wall decor, as nursery decor, or even create a really cool mobile for your baby's bedroom. I don't know how to knit, and I found this really cool gadget here in my craft store in France. It's called the Tricotin. I don't know how to call it in English, but it's perhaps there's a version online. I haven't found one, so if you have, leave it down in the description box. But basically it's a really cool gadget that makes a little knitted tubes or little knitted plaits, and it comes with a little weight, the machine itself, and a little knitting hook. And because I can't knit to save my life, I basically found this really cool, really easy to use. You basically just thread the yarn through the little loop that comes in the machine and drop it into the center part of the machine, and this is why you have a little weight on the bottom. So the idea basically is to create tubes of yarn or little plaits, whatever you want to call it. I don't know if you can knit, perhaps there's a more technical term to these things, but basically you can use these little tubes to kind of create all sorts of crafty things. And I've seen them made into hairbands, you know, into different decorations for bedrooms as well, like wall decor. You can use wire through there to kind of give a little bit of stiffness to the tubes that you create. But basically it's really easy to use. Even the kids can get involved, and actually my 13-year-old daughter really loved using this and she thought it was really cool. It's super easy. So once you thread the yarn through, so basically you get it on the other end and do a little knot so that it gets, you know, nice and secure through the weight. And the point of the weight is that it will keep your tubes when you're actually being formed, as you can see here, it will keep them nice and straight. So to begin with, there are 4 hooks inside the machine, and you just kind of ease the wire onto the first hook. You let go of the second hook and you add the yarn I should say, into the third hook. So as you can see here, this is just for the first loop, and then you just carry on turning the little lever until all the yarn is caught on all 4 hooks. And it's a really clever mechanism, and it's really delicate as well, so it's important that you don't use yarn that's really thick because it could damage your machine. And then after you do that, you just kind of pick up the machine with the weight dangling, as you can see, and just carry on turning the little lever until you get the length of tube that you want for your project. I'm doing it really slow here so that you guys can have a look and see how this works. And there are no electrical parts or anything. Everything is super safe. So like I said, kids can get involved, you know, and while you're watching like a TV movie or whatever, you know, your favorite series on TV, you can actually do this as well. It doesn't take long at all. It's actually pretty quick, and it doesn't use a lot of yarn. So for this project I used different colors of yarn to make it look like a boho style rainbow. You know, they're really trendy right now. You can see them all over Pinterest, and you know, made of macrame string or macrame cord, which can be quite expensive. I looked online, you know, it's like triple, quadruple the price of a regular, you know, wool yarn that you can find on any craft store or sewing shop as well. So I decided to use this when I saw this little gadget, because I just wanted to create some tubes to create my rainbow. And as you can see, you get, you know, really beautiful rainbow that is being knitted, and this is perfect for people like me who can't knit to save their lives. So once you've got length of the tubing of yarn that you want, you just trim it off at the end, and voila. So that's one end with the weights, and the other end you take it off, and basically with this little gadget you unwind the lever, so you turn it anti-clockwise, and it unhooks from all the little 4 hooks it was hooked to, as you can see there, and then you just pull it at the end and you have your tube. As you can see there, it doesn't look exactly the same, but just to finish it off, you take a pair of needles, you just take a needle and you thread the wire through the 4 loops that are left. Here I'm using just a regular, really thick sewing needle, but you can use yarn needle or knitting needle. They have a little plasticky loop at the end, which makes the process a lot easier. I didn't have one of those at home, but I know they do exist. and so if you have one of those, use that. But just a regular knitting, regular sewing needle will work as well, as you can see here. So you just, once you pass the loose yarn through all the little 4 loops that are left, you just pull it tight and it secures the end, just like the other side as well. So you just trim off the excess yarn and you have your tube of yarn. Now for this particular project I created 3 sizes of rainbows because I just thought it looked really cool, and like I said, you can use it to decorate your walls, you know, create a mobile, make smaller rainbows. It's up to you. But for this project I just basically varied the length of the yarn, and this is not precise because it depends on the thickness of the yarn, depends how heavy the yarn is, you know, so the weight will pull it down and make the length of yarn according to what kind of type of yarn that you have as well. So basically what I did, I created 25 centimeters and then just decided to shorten the length by about 5 centimeters each time to create the next loop down. So I'll be sure to leave the links down in the description box to my blog because it explains a little bit better perhaps with all the measurements, but it's not precise as you see. Even though I did that, I still got some of the yarn tubes that were a little bit bigger on the end, but that's not a problem because for this project we're just using hot glue to attach the tubes together to form our rainbow. I did not use any wire, there was no need for it, but you can actually with that little knitting gadget to insert a wire through the tube as you're kind of winding the lever, and you can insert like a metal flexible piece of wire inside, but I didn't do that. So these are just the yarns on their own, and I just use a little bit of hot glue to create the arches of my rainbow. Hopefully that makes more sense than what I'm saying here. You know, I'm just rambling on sometimes. As you can see, the end of the rainbow there, some of the pieces were a little bit longer, which is no big deal for this project. Like I said, once you've glued all the little tubes together and you've got your rainbow at the end, they will be nice and secure. You can actually trim off any excess on the back of the rainbow. It's no big deal, and just add a little dot of hot glue to secure the end of the rainbow. But make sure they are stuck down first so that you have your perfect rainbow and the yarn won't unravel on you. So if you cut it beforehand, you know, you just get all messy and look all horrible and start unraveling. So just stick all the tubing together to form the arch of the rainbow and then cut it off if you want to. Some of them I didn't bother. And basically to hide it as well, what I did on the front is to create these little tassels using kind of like an ivory or cream colored yarn. And I just looped it 24 times around my fingers, and then I just chopped it off. You can make it thicker or thinner depending on how many loops you do around your fingers. You know, these tassels can look a lot fuller and bigger as well. So once you've got the 24 loops, just take a little piece of yarn and tie it to the top to secure all the loops in place, and then basically you're just going to trim off on the bottom to create your little tassels. And I use these little tassels, like I said, to hide the front of the rainbow and to create the little kind of macrame style, the kind of, you know, this give the same look of the macrame boho rainbows. And I'll put a picture here on the corner for you guys to see, so you see what I mean when I mention these macrame rainbows. They're actually not made, you know, with any macrame techniques. They're just made with macrame materials like the cording they use to create macrame projects. And I've seen loads online on YouTube. But like I said, the macrame materials are quite expensive. And I thought, well, if I can do this, and then my machine cost about 18 euros. It's about $25, you know, roughly translating. And the yarn was just basically about €1 each, you know, €1.75, so not expensive at all. And I just used some more hot glue, like I said, to stick them to the front of my rainbow. So I did 3 sized rainbows, small, medium and large, and I just stuck 4 to the front of the small and the medium one, and 5 little tassels on each side of the rainbow for the large rainbow. So it's really easy, as you can see, and it's actually much quicker, I think, than the macrame one, because the macrame one involves wrapping some macrame cord or ribbon, whatever you want to call it, around a really thick piece of rope to create the rainbows. And this is much easier, I found, and much quicker and a lot more fun as well, so you don't get any problems with your hands hurting after a while. And if you want to use these as little wall hanging decorations, you just make a little loop using the same color yarn as you've got on your rainbow there. You can use any color yarn. As you can see there, this is the back of the rainbow. I actually trimmed it off with a pair of scissors so they're kind of, you know, a little bit more neater at the back, and you just hot glue that to the top, and it makes really cute decoration for like a child's bedroom or a nursery. And if you make lots of little small rainbows as well, you can use them as air fresheners in your car, or you know, just to decorate anywhere you like in your home. I think they're so adorable, and I really liked using my little knitting gadget to create them. And for this project, like I said, I made 3 rainbows for 3 different sizes, as you can see here, and I used them to decorate a cushion. Hope you guys enjoy the ideas and feel inspired to have a go, you know, looking for a knitting machine, or perhaps knitting your own little rainbows, you know, by hand if you can knit, which is not my case, so that's why I use this gadget. Hope you enjoyed the ideas and feel inspired to have a go. And if you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It lets me know that you like this kind of content. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.